Okay. So the variable speed, I can go up to 60 mile an hour. I've seen 55 on the GPS, which is too fast. 45 it drives quite nice and it's functional. With the big tires, the 4-link and everything, at 60 would be scary. 55 is scary. But I've got adequate speed to go down the highway, not an issue, which I've been working on for 4 years to get everything geared just right. The 2-speed works with an actuating motor, which slides a shifter rail back and forth, just like in a regular transmission, except it's chain driven. So I've got a low range and a high range. I've got a neutral, which is the 2, which puts them in neutral. 3 puts it in high range. 1 puts it in low range with just an actuator, just sliding from one shift rail to the next. And that has worked fantastic, way better than I thought. Last year I had the gears open and I had to spray the chains with oil to keep them cool. This year I sealed the cases and filled them, put 2 gallon of oil in each one. So I've ran all the last 2 months without even having to adjust the chains. The oil is taking care of it, just like a skid steer. They run chain drive and they run in oil. So that has worked out really slick. Okay, we're taking a look at the variable speed on the bent axis motor that drives both ends. They're both identical. I removed a computer controlled system that would take pressure from one side to the other, which moves the source plate, which changes the stroke on the pistons inside this motor. So I replaced it with an actuating motor so I can force the source plate. And these motors are really stable. They both change at the same time. So as this goes down, it forces this piston down, which makes it go faster, shortens the stroke on the piston. When it's all the way up, it's all the way slowed down. Put limiting stops on here, micro switches, which limits the travel, so it stops at where I want it to stop. That's worked out really, really well. Okay. There's an actuating motor right here, and that's my 2-speed. It's I program it so it stops where I want it to stop. So number 1 is low gear, which is where it's at right now. Number 2 is neutral, which moves this shaft here in halfway. Number 3 is high gear, which moves it all the way in, and that just moves the shift rail and shifts it to high. Been really stable. That has worked really, really well.